We are in the middle of a crazy snowstorm here in New York City. And I thought this was a good time for me to go on a little walk and talk to you a bit about the importance of productivity and thinking about it from a Christian perspective. There's an unnecessary tension that exists when we think about productivity, and that people think, is productivity like all about self and glorifying self and, appearing to be the big dog who's got life figured out, etc. And I don't think that's the case. I think every Christian really should be thinking about productivity. Because what is productivity? Essentially, we're talking about how to manage and steward everything God has given you. And God's given all of us different things, right? Some of us, we have a lot of time. Some of us, we have a lot of gifts. And so productivity is essentially thinking through, how do I steward everything God has given me as best as I possibly can? So let's consider time. Unfortunately, time management has become a sort of shorthand for like tech bros who are trying to become the best version of themselves. But in reality, what is time management? It's basically stewarding what God has given you, which is time, which is life. There's a great book called 4,000 Weeks that posits, it's a great book because it asks the question, in terms of weeks, how long do you think the average human life is? In my mind, I kind of thought, I don't know, 100,000, 200,000? I didn't know how to think about it. And this guy broke it down. It comes up to 4,000 weeks. That's it. That's all we get. And then we're done. So ask yourself, the 4,000 weeks you have, how are you going to use it? How are you going to make use of it? Now, we don't all get 4,000 weeks, of course. Some people die much younger. My mum passed away at 59. So she didn't get the 4,000 weeks. And I don't know how long I have. The question's still the same. How do I use the time I've got in a way that glorifies God? And I think all of productivity starts with that question. The time God has given me, how do I steward it well in a way that glorifies Him? Same thing's true of my gifts. God has given me a range of gifts and a range of handicaps. I like to say all of us have a unique portfolio of both. The question still remains, how do you steward your gifts and also, I suppose, handle your handicaps in a way that glorifies God as well? These are all questions that productivity and all these videos and all this tech stuff, these are all questions they try to answer. They're not just random, You're trying to answer these questions. And so, one of the key ways I think about it, I wrote about in my newsletter where I discuss what I call domains of stewardship. I'm going to talk to you about it when I get inside because this snowstorm is out of control. You okay? You've got this. I'm back indoors now. Guys, I cannot tell you, it is so cold, but also like the snow is going up to my calf. It's kind of nuts. But anyways, let's get back to this productivity talk. When I'm talking about productivity that glorifies God, then what am I talking about? Well, I think the first thing you have to do, you have to develop a God-shaped view of your life. You have to think, okay, my best self, if God was picking my best self, who would I be? And that vision needs to be like God-centered, right? If I was my best possible self and God was looking at me and He was going to be proud, who would that make me? Once you've done that, the next thing I'd be thinking about is I'll be wondering whether you know and you truly know all the different domains of stewardship God has given you. These are all the areas God expects you to steward well. So you got your physical body. I want to be as healthy as possible for as long as possible so I can show up to all the tasks God has given me and do them well. You got your economic stewardship. God has given you money. Are you investing? Are you using your money in a way that glorifies Him? Are you giving to charity? To what degree are you actually using resources for good? You got your vocation, which is the job you do. You got your relationships, your relational domain, like all the different associates, close friends, all of those things. They are also part of the stewardship God expects you to have. You got your intellectual. To what degree are you growing mentally? Education doesn't stop when you finish school. You got to commit to lifelong learning where you're constantly growing, evolving, so on and so forth. And then for me, the most important is like your spiritual. To what degree are you spiritually growing? Are you committed to spiritual growth and spiritual depth? All of those things I think are part of the domains of stewardship God has given all of us. First, you developed a God-shaped view of your life. And then you start to think about all the different domains God has given you. And for me, when you consider all those things, right, you realize very quickly, like the tension doesn't have to exist. It doesn't have to be productivity versus God. Actually, they're very, very united because essentially the big question that you're asking is, how do I glorify God and use every single thing he's given me to get that done? That's really what we're trying to answer here. And that's why this channel exists, by the way, is to give you that sort of framework. So we're not just talking about the iPhone 16 for the sake of it. We're talking about it in view of managing the different domains God has for you, and in view of you pursuing your highest self, which is the God-shaped vision you have for your life. So if you like that, please subscribe, join this growing family, and I'll see you in the next one.